The NFC South Preview and Bomb edition of the Bottom Line Bombs on Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code BOMBS to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And with that, we will start the song now. Welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, CJ Sullivan, the Bet Detective, the Dalai Lama, the man in the box. All right, we got a good show. I don't know why I cut my nickname short. You're like depressed. Like, what's wrong? What's wrong, CJ? You didn't say 6 of your nicknames. You all right? Yeah, I'm all right. Just got a big show today. It is not only the NFC South show, but we have a double guest show. I'm excited for today's show. We have the return of Liev Schreiber to recap episode 2 of Hard Knocks. That'll be exciting. But to get into the NFC South, I have fellow degenerate Ryan O'Flanagan. Very excited to have him on there. Talking Carolina Panthers, the jewel of the NFC South division. But first, let me recap, of course, the weekend there. Have to do that. Have to talk about nothing before we get into something. That's the flow of the Bottom Line Bombs. Oh, then I also have to needlessly tell you the date and the location where I'm shooting from. It's very important information. Like broadcasting live from LA, from Eagle Rock, California on a Monday at 2:30. Pacific time. That's if you're listening live. And if you are listening live on X, hop on over to the YouTube so you can hop in the comments. That way you can be a part. You can enrage and engage me. But yeah, I like when people say that. They tell you the date and the time. And it's a podcast. Yeah, that's the date and time for you, not for me. I'm listening to this when I want to listen to it. Don't you know what society's like now? It's 2024. We don't go by your rules. Who am I talking to? That'd be a good name of the show. Who am I talking to? Anyway, had a good weekend. I was in Canon Beach, Oregon, which is about an hour and a half from Portland. Beautiful oceanside town, port sound, whatever it is. I don't know. Yeah, it's by the ocean. It's where they shot Goonies. There's rocks in the water. It's gorgeous. It's a great place to take your girlfriend or your wife or, you know, a loved one, someone that would appreciate it. We decided to have 10 guys have a fantasy football draft there in the romantic town of Canon Beach. Men, you know, there's families and couples there. And then there's a fantasy football league having breakfast in Canon Beach, Oregon. It was gorgeous. My own buddy lives up there. Sean Cole, shout out to him. He'll be talking Seattle Seahawks as soon as I can lock him down for an interview. He's a madman. But he's like, yeah, so glad you guys came up here. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, well, we've all reached a point of our lives where we don't want to go to Vegas or anything like that. I mean, you know, or anywhere fun. We want to go where there's nothing that we can do because we're losing our minds and we just need to get out of where we live. So that way, it became the perfect weekend. We all left our lives together at this beautiful oceanfront, small town. There's some townies up there. He owns a bar up there, so we had the draft there. And townies love me, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Locals in general, salt of the earth people. Your blue collars, they relate to me because they think I'm one of them. I'm not, of course. I'm not above them. I'm just not one of them. I don't do that manual labor stuff. I run my mouth here in a box. That's what I do. I don't get in holes and lay cement like they do. You know, they do real work. Fuck that. I've learned that a long time ago. But Oregon was great. I mean, it really was incredible up there. There's some. You know, I'll hurry up, of course. Well, I'll tell you about the merch store because I got some merch right here. Actually, shout out to the Hemlocker bar. I was calling it the Hudsucker all weekend because that's what I do. I do misword bits. That was a lot of things too. Like so, there's a couple of us are comics in the fantasy football league. So the locals were looking at us like animals in the zoo. Like, you guys are comedians, what are you on? We'd make up some show because we were all failed comics. We're not, but they don't know that. So we lie to them and say what we're on. Yeah, put on a show for them. And then half my material I realized is just saying words wrong. Mispronouncing names or just saying the wrong. Whoa, what is this? The Hurt Locker? Oh, Hurt Locker. That's hilarious. No, it's the Hem Locker. That's my style. And it worked. Got some free swag out of it. But speaking of swag, everything in the merch store, the SGPN merch store, is 10% off with promo code football. I'd recommend, of course, getting a Man in the Box shirt or a Bet Detective shirt. Or don't. Actually, get some of the other stuff. I don't think I even get money for that anyway. So, don't get my merch. Yeah, it'd be nice if you put the word out. But college football kicks off this week. Can you believe that? Actual college football is this weekend. Tune in to Sports Gambling Podcast Network and the college football experience for week 0 picks and all your favorite futures. I will be on that show with Picks Dundee. We're doing a team preview still, but also, I will be doing week 0 picks pretty soon. Anyway. Where was I? Real quick. The weekend there was preseason football. I'll only mention this real quick because then I got to get to. I want to get to our interview with Ryan O'Flanagan in the NFC South. We need to get to this NFC South. It was kind of a fun division this year. And I do have Hard Knocks recap at the end of the episode with Liev Schreiber. He was such a big hit in episode 1. Last week, we can't wait to bring him back week 2. The Bears were the story this weekend. Caleb Williams looked amazing in this preseason game. And what I love about it, because I lived in Chicago for years, and a lot of the people in our fantasy football league are from Chicago and comics and stuff like that. And that's how we all met, actually. And what I love about Chicago fans is they are so optimistic. You don't see that kind of optimism in a big city. Big cities usually have cynicism or hardness to them, Usually that's small town shit. Chicago's different because they're braggadocious. They're fucking bull, They look down on every other Midwest city, but they have an inferiority complex with New York, and they have this delusional arrogance that they don't deserve. Like they're never good, and every year they buy in. That's it. We're the best. Caleb Williams, Hall of Fame, and they fall for it every year. It's hilarious. So much so that preseason game, and he looked awesome. There was so many great highlights. Our one buddy, Mark Vanna, in the league, drafted Caleb Williams, first quarterback overall, second round in our league. Just based on those highlights. Fuck it. Caleb Williams, let's go. It was a pick of the draft. We all laughed at him, and that's what's fun about it. Anyway, either way, it's fun. And he picked Odunze in the 4th round. He had no 3rd round because he traded. I mean, he's not bright. He's never made the playoffs, but I don't know. But he does have a partner who was late, and he came on via satellite Zoom because he couldn't make it to Oregon, and that was the first thing he saw. What happened? What did we do? We drafted Caleb Williams and Odunze back-to-back in the 2nd and 4th round. Okay, well then I guess I'm gone. And he did. He just left. He's like, fuck this. If you're not going to care about this, and I'm not. Well, he cares. That was the problem. He cared too much. Anyway. So much of a big show. Let's get into it. Let me take a quick ad read. And when we come back, we'll talk NFC South. All right? Yeah, NFC South division. The worst division of football last year. I don't think so much this year, but we have a great guest. Fellow CGN, Ryan O'Flanagan is going to talk Carolina Panther, my Carolina insider. But first, let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. Oh, hold on. I have to do my professional thing where I do this. Where is it? Hold on. Maybe not. It's professional when you say you're professional as you're doing it, and then I can't find a thing. It says Underdog. What did I get rid of it? No, here it is. Underdog. Boom. There it is. All right. Now I can talk to you about Underdog Fantasy Pick'em. It gives you a chance to win 1,000 times your entry. Play fantasy football the right way with Best Ball Mania. It's live with $15 million in prizes. Sign up with promo code BOMBS. Claim your special pick and first-time deposit. Offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code BOMBS. We're also brought to you by Circa Survivor and Circa Million. Let me switch that up, too. We got a contest going on there. It's back with Circa Survivor and Circa Millions giving away $16 million in guaranteed prizes. Imagine the regret you'll feel if you win your office Survivor pool but didn't enter Circa Survivor. You don't have a trip booked for Las Vegas yet before football? Ultimate Contest Weekend is a great time to go out, hang with... God, I'm bad at reading. I just made 2 sentences into that 1 sentence. Ultimate Contest Weekend is a great time to go out. Hang with Ryan and Sean. Enjoy some of the open bar events at the greatest sports book in the world. August 22nd through 24th. Use promo code SGP15 to save 50% off your hotel room for sign-up weekend. Sign up in person at Circa Sports Bet between now and September 7th. Use a proxy to play from anywhere. We sign up in person at Circa Sports between now and September 7th. Use a proxy to play. We even have a deal with a proxy. Go to proxyfootballcontest.com. Save $50 with promo code SGP and a free hat. You can't beat that with a bat. Little black sheep, if you will. Who doesn't have a black sheep reference? Feach Lamagna says, what's up, CJ? Good to be back in the chat. It sure is. And also, thank you, Feach. Welcome back to the chat. That Circa contest, I will be out there this weekend. That's this weekend, the sign-up weekend. So there's Sean and Ryan, and there's me, the man in the box, continuing my Road to 10 Million documentary, docu-series, web series. So if you come see me, I'll get you in there as a cameo. I mentioned that for a couple things. Well, one, to get you out there, because I'm doing my job as the plugging. 2, Circa, which is where we'll be staying. They also have a documentary coming out about the Survivor contest last year's that's premiering tonight called like The Journey to 9.2 million. Where'd you get that idea, Circa? Not to yell at our advertisers, but what the fuck? Journey to 9.2? Mine's Road to 10 million? Interesting. Very interesting. I know, common flawed. I guess it is their contest and all that thing. You can have common thing. But speaking of which, in online videos, our guest who I'm bringing in, Mr. Ryan O'Flanagan, is amazing at online videos. And he had one stolen from him, too. He knows exactly what I'm fucking talking about. Anyway, so without further ado, I'm going to bring in my Carolina Panther native and insider, Mr. Ryan. Oh, yes, here he is. Ryan O'Flanagan. What's up, buddy? Let me lock in myself.
How's it going, CJ? Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah,
the laddie daddy. Big fan of the show, dude. An honor to be here. Giving the people what they need. A Carolina Panthers deep dive, dude. That's what the C-Generous want.
It is what they want. It's NFC South because this is where the value is. And I'm also honored to have you here. I'm a big fan. Became an even bigger fan when you told me what a fan you were of me. So I said,
"Oh yeah,
then I'm like,
a fellow mispronouncer of words. That's most of our comedy. And it's gotten us nowhere."
Exactly. I always support mumblers and mispronouncers.
Absolutely.
I'm like, that's who can do. But yeah, I brought up the videos. Of course, Ryan O'Flanagan, you're a hilarious comedian and Carolina native and insider. But you have had videos stolen. I brought that up, and I brought that up to my C-Generates because it's up to us to police ourselves. Not to bring that up top, but I was going to make a video of it. I did cut a short video, but I know when you talk, you have to bring your receipts. So I know it was a lot of work. It was this fucking Gun Ranch asshole, Demolition Ranch.
Yeah, bizarre. The host of Demolition Ranch, just word for word, copied a sketch of mine from Instagram, which is fine. I don't think he was doing that to rip me off. I like to think he was doing it as like an homage, but then he didn't tag me or anything in it. So maybe he wasn't straight up ripping me off.
Yeah, it was no homage. He just stole it.
You're probably right.
And the reason why I came in the news is the guy who shot Trump was wearing one of his shirts. This Demolition Ranch.
Yeah.
And
that guy had to do some sort of apology video.
Right, which is hilarious. And I watched that video. It was like the first time I got introduced him. I was like, well, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
You would think a guy whose video content is of a gun ranch would be more creative. Apparently not. That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Great actor though. Gotta give him that.
That's what I said. So if you put the video side to side, which you did on your page, and hold on, I got to switch my banner. I have a Ryan O'Flanagan banner. There we go. To follow all the handles, you put them side by side. Okay. Yes, he did take your idea of the entire premise and joke word for word, but it was his idea to make the acting and the execution much, much worse.
Yeah.
He's like, what if I do that, but in a way worse way?
It was really staggering, his inability to sound like a real person when he's acting. Like, he was so alien and robotic.
Yeah, he did it twice because you do the great POVs, you play both characters, the different cuts, and his both acting choices was bad actor, and one was trying to be worse. It was incredible.
It was tough to watch.
All right, let's get into your Carolina Panthers now. I got some slides, some canvas slides. This isn't just official Carolina football. Now, you're from out there from North Carolina, right?
I'm not. Sadly enough, I'm not even from there. That's the worst part of this. I'm from New England.
I probably should have said this beforehand, but you are a Panther fan. I know you're my Panther insider. I've seen you post about it.
Yeah, I'm your Panthers insider, dude. Happy to be the Panthers insider.
Right. All right, I have to change some of my questioning, but well, when it comes to Panthers, we take what we can get because, as you said, they were not good. We'll hop right into last year's disaster. They were 2-15 last year, the worst team in football.
Tepper with the cup.
Yeah,
it was.
It starts with
unmitigated siege, unmitigated disaster.
Yeah, must have been rough that season. I mean, they weren't just bad. I mean, they were really bad. Like, they weren't. I don't think they ever had to lead. I think for like 30 seconds combined, even when those two wins. Frank Reich, of course, got fired. Bryce Young was horrible. It started from the top, though. I like how everyone hates that owner, David Tepper. Here they're just throwing a drink on a fan that he came into the restaurant when someone said, because he single-handedly said they wanted to pick Bryce Young over C.J. Stroud when all of the football guys said C.J. Stroud, and Tepper's like, I got a feeling about this guy, But I kind of like my owners being villains that way, of like just the asshole billionaire, who like throws drinks from his ivory tower.
Yeah, there's something fun about it. But it's fun. It's fun when you like the villain. Like Cam Newton, he was like a villain, around the league. But it's fun when it's your guy. It's less fun when it's the owner who's just really single-handedly been holding your team back for 6-7 years now. And you don't want to root for a team that's like, I don't want this guy to be happy,
Right, and especially when it's in spite. But I love when they meddle in there, like, no, I think I got a feeling about this. I made all my money in real estate, sure, but also I know how to evaluate a quarterback.
Yeah, and of course, looking back, CJ should have. I would have loved for CJ to have been the pick, but honestly, at the time, Bryce was not a crazy pick to pick Bryce. I wanted Bryce. I also fell for that stupid mental aptitude test. That was like, well, CJ's probably doesn't seem like he has it mentally, which now they're just that test is just absolutely gone now.
Yeah,
it definitely means nothing.
The Wonderlic test,
whatever it is. And as a shorter guy myself, I root for even like as Tom Brady was getting older, I started rooting for him, even though I always hated him growing up. But it's like, I root for the old guys, and I root for smaller guys.
That's funny. He's relatable, but also when it comes to football players, I don't want him to be relatable.
It's cool when it works out. Then when it doesn't work out, like last year, it is tough to watch a guy that size just get thrown around the yard.
So funny. But you got a new coach this year, so there's more exciting. You got Dave Canales. He came over from Tampa Bay, the offensive coordinator, who is the quarterback whisperer. That's that graphic in the lower right. Apparently, he whispered to Geno Smith and Baker Mayfield. He whispered that if you ever get caught cheating, just say you're addicted to porn, and then she might make you write a book about it. It'll be embarrassing, but you can still get through it.
Yeah, man. He's he's an interesting guy. I read his book that he co-wrote with his wife.
Yeah, that's right.
Like the first words in that book are the first time I cheated on. It was my first. So it's like, this is just a book about how he cheated on his wife. She wouldn't let him. She hasn't let him watch porn in 10 years. And
I mean, you could just feel like you could just envision like the gun to his head as he's having it right
as he's at the keyboard. But he's a young guy, injecting some youth and some energy into this thing. He, by all accounts, seems like a very sweet, nice guy, which I'm not sure I love that as much. I kind of do like a Mike Tomlin, I'm fucking working here type.
Yes.
But he seems like a cool guy to hang out with. I don't know how that translates to wins and losses, but he's allegedly kind of the whisperer. Turned Geno around, turned Baker around.
Well, that's what's funny too about that. Like, he's turned Geno Smith around, Baker Mayfield around. We're already admitting that our number one pick, Bryce, is in that field.
Needs to be turned around.
Well, let's see if we can get the fixer to come in and fix this terrible mistake we made.
Yeah, I mean, it did look bad. I mean, you forget
nothing looked good.
It was brutal, and Bryce looked pretty bad. But I don't. There were no plays to be made. Like, truly, I mean, you probably heard it 1,000 times, but the line was so bad. The receivers were really not getting open. We had one receiver who could get open at all, and it was Adam Thielen, and he had 105 catches. If you get open, Bryce can find you, I think.
They definitely did have a connection, and they are young. We'll move on. Bryce Young, 150 to 1 to win MVP would be quite the feat, but who knows who he could bounce back. I had to search deep for those numbers there. I found a young Panther logo there too. But they have Chuba Hubbard, of course, at running back, but they drafted as Jonathan Brooks out of Texas. That's him running away from Chuba Hubbard, 75 to 1 rookie of the year. But then my favorite guys is Xavier Legette, the guy. Speaking of receivers, he is as country gets. He is hilarious. 60 to 1. He looks like DK Metcalf. Have you heard him speak yet there, Ryan?
Oh yeah. He's South Carolina, from Mullins, South Carolina. And that's Mullins. That's if we're going to be a crappy team again, at least it's good to have players that you just really like and can root for.
Absolutely.
That guy is just he's a media darling. Everyone loves him. Anytime they put a mic in front of his face, I'm going to listen. He's awesome. Yeah. And I think he will be decent. He's pretty banged up right now. We have a lot of injuries coming out of preseason here, which is not a great sign. We're missing half our secondary, and Legette might not play for a bit. Right. Brooks is out for that whole beginning of the year, so it might be a slow start.
Yeah, you got to read an injury report of what you guys did to yourselves. Well, we had another rough game with ourselves, and we're all knocked up. Here's Legette answering a press conference. Now I know you're from the New England area, but you speak Carolina. You speak a little South. You've been down there once. I've seen pictures with you, Cam Newton, for crying out. Here's Xavier. He's just one time they did an AI thing, try to translate his press conferences, and it just short circuited and gave up. But here he is. He's just amazing. Let me see if I can get him to play here. Hold on. Wait. That was supposed to play. That did not play. I probably can't do it now because you're on. Oh, no, never mind. Anyway, it's country. We all know
get the point.
It is. Right. I'm in the box here by myself.
Don't pick him up about 9:30 in the morning. I told him I'm gonna be ready.
That's what it's like, and it's funny because the press asked him questions, and they ask him like just to hear him fucking speak, like, "Hey, tell us about your first job, Xavier." Like, what? Was it Toys R Us or something? I don't know.
When do they ever ask rookies that job? It's like, please talk about anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Words. And even his answer was literally that he's like, I never had a job. I worked. It is way more hard to understand than this. But he goes, I had a cousin worked at KFC. I was in there for about a week, and I moved on.
It's amazing because he's this huge athlete. You're like, I can't believe he sounds like that. But that's how the fucking South talks. Yeah, that's great. Oh, what did I do?
He's perfect for the Carolina Panthers. It's the locals are gonna love him. Like that's our sweet boy, our sweet Mullins, South Carolina boy.
Absolutely. So they brought in Deontay Johnson for some reason as well.
For some reason, help out. Yeah, I don't know how big of a signing that would be for most teams, but I think for us that's great.
Yeah,
because he is a great route runner and he can get open. I think he'll have a good year. That's because poor Bryce, man. They would show the full 22 and no one was open ever. It was staggering to watch. I think our weapons are better this year. I think we made some nice additions on the line, beefed up our guard positions, and
they did. They brought in Damian Lewis from the TV show Billions, and they brought in Robert Hunt, I believe his name was. And,
spending $100 million on some guards, keeping Bryce upright.
Yeah, now that's money I can get behind. Bringing in Javion Clowney, I guess, because he's from Carolina. I don't know, whatever. Good for them.
That's cool. Bringing some South Carolina boys, but. Yeah.
So I took Xavier Legette rookie of the year just because I like him. And
me too.
Cisco Sims, but let's get to this.
something to root for.
Let's get right into this schedule here. Those are two of my favorite Panthers. I put them on the left there: Kerry Collins and Wesley Walls.
Wow, well, that's for the best. That is what Kerry Collins looked like the whole time he played.
Yeah, Kerry Collins had one of the best weeks ever. He had a DUI. He had this practice where he got accused of saying the N-word. Then he came out of the jail. He came out of the jail cell smoking a cigar from his DUI. It was like a 7-day PR disaster.
Yeah.
And he was just like leaning into all of it.
Yeah, man. I was 7, 8 years old. That was my first Panthers jersey, was a Kerry Collins jersey. And that's just a little kid. It's like, this is my hero. That's what he's doing.
Like I said, so they won 2 games last year. And now they have the over-under set at 4.5, which would be more than double that, obviously. But I do think they have the easiest. I think they have the 29th best schedule. Look at the numbers. No need to even go over last year's numbers. It's a new regime, new whisperer. 5.5 to 1 just to make the playoffs. 11 to 1 to win a division. They have a pretty wide open division, even though they are definitely the worst team in there.
For sure.
Yeah, 121 to win NFC, and if you want to burn some money, go ahead and put 250 to 1 to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
How amazing would that be? How shocked would you be in a scale of 1 to 250, if you will?
Yeah, I have made almost all of these bets. I did a little sprinkle. Of course, I did a little $10 sprinkle at 250 to 1.
You have to.
Why not?
If you're a fan, why not?
Why not? Went to $2,500, and yeah, we're probably the worst team in the division, but the division is, like you said, wide open. I do think the Falcons, they have a lot of talent, and they could. I love to hate the Falcons, but they might actually be pretty good.
Yeah, they were already good. They just needed a quarterback. I mean, they got.
Yeah, I mean, once they got Kirk Cousins, I was like, okay, they're for real. And then just a couple of days ago, they pick up Matt Judon and Justin Simmons. Like, oh, damn it, they're really going for it. And then if Cousins gets hurt, maybe Penix makes some noise. But the Bucks, I don't know. They're fine. Baker got paid. Maybe he kind of slows down a bit. Mike Evans is getting older.
I know. So they don't really excite you. And then the Saints, you're just like, why?
Are just the Saints. Yeah.
You're like, why are you even doing this? Like, you're like they don't even seem like a real team. Like David Carr and Dennis Allen, really? That's a real thing? Like, okay, if you're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, running it back. So
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
We got a comment from the C Generous. They said their favorite Panther was Robbie Anderson because he thought Sir Purr was a bear, your mascot.
that was an all-time clip. That literally, when we had Robbie on the Panthers, he was my favorite player. And that moment made me love him so much. Him on the side go, there's a Sir Purr Panthers mascot just dancing or something, and he goes, "What's that bear doing?" And talking to DJ Moore, and DJ Moore goes, "The Panther." And he goes, "What is it?" And he goes, "It's the Panther." And he goes, "His name's Sir Purr." And he goes, "What you call that?" He goes, "Sir Purr." And he goes, "Sir Purr." And that's poor DJ Moore trying to explain to this doofus. Yeah, like Purr, like a cat purr.
Yeah,
like,
Sir Purr.
Robbie's the man.
He was anointed by the Queen. It's Sir Purr. It is it's
a royal cat.
Speaking of weird Carolina Panthers, you might have talked about you with Cam Newton before, who was probably your most famous Carolina Panther, obviously. What has happened to Cam Newton? He's hilarious. I love him, but what he is out there now.
He is really, man. He's really starting to lose it, dude. It's sad to watch. I don't know. I just saw a clip of him the other day. I feel like he at least admits he's not going to play again. He's like, I'm not retired. Do I expect to be asked to play again? No.
Yeah,
I'm retired. No, but he's posted a lot of bizarre clips going after like Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
last year I'm like, who doesn't like Brock Purdy? Unless maybe you're just an Eagles fan or something. Like you and Sean.
And the only game film I see him is him getting in fights with like 13-year-olds at his camp and shit.
Like getting jumped by 3 people at once. He does get into it with some fans. There was another clip of him at a camp, and there was like a Saints fan, saying like Drew Brees is your daddy, and then Cam was barking. He goes, "Yeah, but." He's like talking about how much money he's got to this high school kid. Like, yeah, you have more money than this high school kid can. Why are you engaging with this kid?
I know. It's kind of funny. It is weird how disrespected he gets and how people just kind of just jump on him. Like, he's an MVP, who's amazing, and he got hurt, and now he just has these camps with these kids who just roast him.
And he gets so upset by it. Like, damn it, they got me again.
And like you said, he engages in it. It's like an open roast season. I mean, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. I do miss his MVP. Like, at least they had a little bit of like a fire when he played, man. And that's the one thing I'll say about Bryce. Like, I don't mind that he's small.
Right.
I wish he wasn't so small, but like Kyler's small and Drew Brees was small.
Yes.
Like Steve Smith was small or short at least, but like Bryce just doesn't have any like attitude to him. He's such like a sweetheart, and I'm like,
Right.
I don't see him like getting in someone's face and jawing at him or anything. He didn't do it all last year. Maybe he'll get a little bit more of that this year, a little more confidence, but he just doesn't have that dog in him, as the kids
Doesn't have
say.
that dog in him. Maybe the Panthers should sign a couple even smaller people, like dudes that he could beat up in front of everyone. Like,
right.
Don't mess with Bryce Young.
Yeah.
You know, he can, like someone.
Yeah, he won't look so short next to our line if we just get a bunch of just 5'9" guys on the line. And he can see over, no problem.
I like a completely small team. No one's ever tried it. Yeah, for a reason. But
right.
We'll go for it. All right, get into the schedule. We won't get too deep into the schedule. There's a lot of to be determined, which I like. That means not only they might flex them out, but we don't even know if we're going to play these games. We don't know if Carolina's going to be worth finishing off some of these games. But they open up versus Saints. That's a fun divisional game. You actually open up with a game you can win.
Yeah. 1-0, no problem.
1-0, yeah, and then you got about a 2 months of losses. But after that, it opens right up.
There's some tough stretches for sure. I think that.
Yeah.
Open it up against the Saints. I don't know. I think we can catch them by surprise. I do think we have a much better offense. I don't know what the hell is what we're going to do for pass rush. Like you said, we have Jadeveon Clowney, and then I don't know what the hell DJ Johnson and
Jadeveon Clowney, Clavon Chazon. They brought in. Of course, they lost Brian Burns, who was their all-world player. But yeah, they play the Saints, then the Chargers, and then who knows what they're going to be up front. You got the Harbaugh. And then the Raiders. You kind of have a nice, obviously,
Raiders,
last place schedule.
Yeah, it could be. It's some winnable games up front. If we are decent, we could also be at 2-15 again. But honestly, last year, I'm not even joking. I was telling my friends, and I wasn't joking. I was saying we're going 10-7. That was my honest to God prediction. So anything I say about the Panthers and my predictions, throw it out the window. I'm a fool.
And how soon did you know that 10-7 was not going to be an option, and it was going to be a long year last year?
Yeah, I figured it'd be a slow start. First couple of starts when Bryce just looked like shit. I was like, he'll figure it out. He's so smart. He's a processor, is what they always say. He's an elite processor, dude. Here's my nickname. I thought of Bryce Young.
Processor is great. Yeah, but have you seen his? Yes, it was an interception, but did you see him process it?
He processed it. He threw it so fast. I was saying because he coming out of college, that was his thing. He's small, and he's super tiny, but he's an elite processor. He sees the field. So I thought since he's so small, my nickname for him is the microprocessor.
That's great.
That's got to catch on.
That's got to catch on. Because I like that because I bet he hates it and fans hate it. That's why. That's why I like that. I can get behind that merch for sure. Oh my God. Well, Ryan, I think they're going to go over 4.5 wins. I think you're right. Just the schedule looks easy. I'm a fan of Dave Canales for sure. I like the offense, and I'm behind the microprocessor. Let's do it. He's got some weapons this year.
Yeah, man. I think we could make some noise. A little bit of noise. We'll be better than last year, so at least there's that.
I put your tags down there, RyanO'Flanagan.com. If you go to that website, and all of you're an amazing follow, by the way, on Instagram and X, at Ryan O'Flanagan. It's going on to take a, but for the ones listening, smoosh that lightsaber I put on there for one of your best videos. I mean, all your videos are amazing, including Dead Kevin. I love your Dead Kevin group with old buddy Jack Robichaud. As you guys, I just mispronounced his name too.
Jack Robichaud. And I'm at Barucha. Yeah. Check us out on YouTube.
Yes, on YouTube. All the smoosh and smash and all those things. Gun Ranch as well as that.
Yeah,
I want to say that. Anything else you want to tell the degenerates out there?
Oh, not really. Hitting the road a little bit, doing so. Oh, any of my North Carolina people, I'll be in Reidsville this weekend and on Friday at a country club. And then doing some Florida shows in September. Come see me out in Tampa and Naples and Miami.
Amazing. What's this country club gig? Is it a private gig at a country club?
Yeah, it's just it's like a fundraiser show for this golf movie we're shooting next year where I play. I mean, you've seen me golf. I should not be in a golf movie, but
I've golfed with you. You've been in a golf movie. This is your second golf movie.
No, this is a sequel to that golf movie. Yeah, we're doing a fundraiser for it. So,
yes. What's the name of it again? Birdies?
Birdies. So we're filming out Birdies 2 early next year. So this is a fundraiser show.
It's got a sequel. That's incredible. Congratulations on that.
Thanks, man.
How is it not called Bogies, the sequel?
I know.
I mean, what are we even doing here?
Yeah. We're going to rewrite this whole thing.
I love it. All right, Ryan O'Flanagan, thank you very much for joining us, and go microprocessors.
Go microprocessor. Thanks, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. And let's do that. There it is. Ryan O'Flanagan with the Carolina Panther preview. Fantastic. All right, I will be back, and I will give out some bombs for the rest of the NFC South after I tell you about Rhythm. There's the Rhythm graphic. Football season is here. College football and NFL models are now live on Rhythm. Create your own winning betting models and let Rhythm do the heavy lifting for you. You decide what stats matter to most of you, and Rhythm builds a custom model around that, or just let Rhythm and his predictive model do the heavy lifting. Rhythm uses AI projections from MIT data scientists, and they already got you covered for NFL Week 1 and college football Week 0. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamingpodcast.com/rhythm and sportsgamingpodcast.com/RATHMM. And we are back here on the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, CJ Sullivan, the bet detective, the laddie daddy, the deli llama, scumbagger Vance, the man in the box, of course. I say scumbagger Vance because I have golfed with Ryan only once or twice, not too often. Yeah, he's not good, but he had to start golfing to get in that movie Birdies, which he was in, and I'm sure he's fine. He's great in it. But that is amazing. He's having a sequel, and they don't call it Bogies. But go catch him out in that movie, Birdies. Birdies 2. Incredible. All right, let me put my thing back on there, and we are back. Now let's do the wide shot. I want to thank Ryan. Ryan's great. He's a very funny comedian, and his online videos are amazing. They're so funny. He's a jack of all trades. He knows how to put online content on. I do not. He knows the ways of the kids, you know. I'm an older man, as you could tell in that interview when I mentioned Wesley Walls and Kerry Collins, and Ryan's like, yeah, I remember that when I was 4 years old. He was my hero. Oh, okay. Well, I remember when I was a little older than that. But I do online videos, and it looks like an old man editing, just cutting and shit like that. Like, it's, well, anyway, stop cuts and fucking just whatever. I do my, you know what? I do my best, and it's all we can. So not all the videos aren't all the same. But thank you, everyone who is watching. If you are watching on YouTube, hop on into the comments, like Tanner Redden, who says D-Gens only. Hop on, welcome in. Hit the thumbs up, buddy. Thumbs up button, buddy. Hit the thumbs up button. Like it. Smash it. Smoosh it. It's hard to say smash that like or whatever that shit without thinking of Ryan's video. Ryan had a video that went pretty viral. That what I'm talking about, where it said like smash. It was during COVID, I think, where he's just going smash that like, but he kept heightening it, as they say in comedy terms, and it's really funny. I don't want to do a piss poor version of it. Just look it up yourself. Look up all his content. It's incredible. All right, let's talk about the rest of this NFC South and give out some bombs. As far as Carolina goes, like I already told you, I like over 4.5 wins. I do. I don't like them to win a division or anything like that. They're going to be bad, but they will be better because their schedule is very easy. It is 28th, I believe, in the league. 29th schedule. Now, the NFC South, the Falcons are the favorite. They're minus 140 to win a division. Then it's Tampa Bay and New Orleans, kind of neck and neck, plus 350 and plus 380, and then Carolina 11-1. Now, I think there's value on both Tampa Bay or New Orleans, depending on who you like. Because let's go with Atlanta. Let's start with Atlanta, who is the perennial favorite. They're a little over the top favorite. Let's take it. Let's pump the brakes with Atlanta. Yeah, they're good, but they shouldn't be minus money to win a division in this division. Their over/under is 9.5, and that's juiced to the over. 30-1 to win the Super Bowl, 13-1 to win conference, minus 215 to make the playoffs, and it's all because they brought in Kirk Cousins.
You like that? You like that?
I don't know if I do, Kirk. Then Atlanta, I don't know if Atlanta did either. That's why they drafted Michael Penix. What about that, Kirk?
You like that? You like that?
No, you don't. Wouldn't you rather have a defensive player? They should have drafted a defensive player. Dallas Turner, that they were, but they did not. But they did just trade for Judon, the Patriots Judon, so that's going to help them a lot. Raheem Morris, head coach, 13-1 to win. That's a solid bet. See the coach there? They hired him over Belichick. Everyone loves him. That's the thing when you go with Coach of the Year. It is Raheem Morris. You have to have the narrative. Their O coordinator, Rob McClure, they all come from that McVay system. Zach Robb, whatever his name is. So the offense will be good. They got Bijan Robinson, 18-1 to win Offensive Player of the Year. He's supposed to have a big year, but they still have. I mean, I don't know. They say he might make him a more bell cow, but they still. I mean, Algier got a lot of burn last year, and I can't see him just throwing him away. Drake London, 50-1 to win Offensive Player of the Year. That's not bad. They added Rondell Moore and Darnell Mooney, so they added more speed receivers for Cousins. And Pitts, will he finally have a good year? Their defense was 12th last year, and they're still managing intact. They have the easiest schedule. That's why everyone does like Atlanta. Not only because last year all they needed was a quarterback, and they do have Kirk Cousins coming off that Achilles injury. And they got Penix, a left-handed black quarterback wearing number 7 in Atlanta. What could go wrong there? What was the last time that happened? That's a Michael Vick reference if you don't know. So if I certainly would not play Falcons to win the division. If you want to do a future with the thought process being the division's easy and they can get the 1 seed, I mean, I wouldn't blame you. Kirk Cousins is 5-1 to win Comeback Player of the Year.
You like that? You like that?
No, I don't. Those are short odds. 35-1 to win MVP. He might have a big year, and he is regular season Kirk. But I don't know if he likes games when things matter. Michael Penix is like 28 years old, and they just said, we're not even going to play him in the preseason. Well, when the hell are you going to play him? It doesn't matter. So if I'll give out any actual bomb here, I think because of Moore and Mooney, let's take Drake London at 50-1. OPOY. I think if Kirk Cousins is going to have a big year, Drake London's going to have a big year. So I'd rather do the odds with Drake London. All right, let's move on. I don't want to talk about Atlanta anymore. The Freaknik. I talked about the Freaknik, right? The Freaknik documentary on Hulu. Everyone was waiting for that, like it was going to be exciting, and then it came out and it was good, but we didn't need the whole history. I didn't need to know how it started. No one cares what it was supposed to be. We just know what it became. A goddamn Freaknik on the highways. Woo! Black Spring Break, all right. It was one of the craziest you'd ever seen. Anyway, let's get to the teams I want to talk about in this division. Carolina, they're going to be surprising, over 4.5 wins. Atlanta, I'd lean under 9.5 wins, but let's take Drake London. I did one. Let's go to these Saints. Saints, everyone hates. People don't even like talking about the Saints because it's Derek Carr. It's head coach Dennis Allen. You're like, what is the point of this? Why are they doing it? They're not even bad. They're middle of the road. They can beat teams. Like their defense was the average. Their offense is average. But they're like, what? Is this a real thing? It seems like a TV show or like a video game simulation. You're really running back head coach Dennis Allen? And Derek Carr is your quarterback? Okay. He's the odds-on favorite to get fired first, Dennis Allen. But he's 65-1 to win Coach of the Year. I think there's actual value in that. Because if the Saints win this division, and like I said, they're plus 380 to do it, you have to give them some credit because no one expects anything out of them. I don't know, but they are pretty bad. They have thrown things away. They have Clint Kubiak as the OC. I guess that's Gary Kubiak's kid. That's one thing I don't like is there's all these kids of coaches now. Kids our age in there. I say our age, I mean mine. Obviously not our guest. Feach Lamani says Mickey Loomis is an underrated, terrible GM. I agree with that. The Saints have to make some horrendous decisions, but they have weapons. They have Chris Olave. They got Rashid Shaheed. And they have Alvin Kamara, who, and Kamara's another one. You're like, God, and again, Alvin Kamara? Yes, again, Alvin Kamara. And he's still good. I mean, you have crazy numbers on these Saints betting-wise. The menu, if you can get behind the stink of having, like, the Saints, they were 9-8 last year. They weren't bad. The total is 7.5 this year. I think they go over 7.5. Plus 170 to make the playoffs. Plus 380 to win the South. 45 to 1 to win the NFC. 100 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. Those are lofty numbers for a potential division winner. You know, you win that division, you get that home playoff game. Next thing you know, you're in the divisional round, sitting on a 45 to 1 ticket to win the conference. That's pretty good. But like I said, Derek Carr is 150 to 1 to win MVP. Russell Wilson is 100 to 1, just to compare that to. Russell Wilson is terrible. I mean, terrible. And he hasn't looked good in years. Derek Carr still can put up numbers. He makes a pass and does not look great. But Russell Wilson got sacked 13 times in a preseason game the other night. I want Russell Wilson to be good, especially since I drafted George Pickens, but 150 to 1, it seems like a crazy number for Derek Carr. Alvin Kamara, 100 to 1 for Offensive Player of the Year. Olave, 100 to 1 to Offensive Player. Chris Olave, 100 to 1. Come on. Their defense was outstanding. They were 5th and 3rd in all the advanced statistics, the EPAs. They got Willie Gay. They brought in they drafted a kid named Kool-Aid, for God's sakes. Chase Young, they added him. They have the second easiest schedule. Joe Woods is a good defensive coordinator. I can't believe I'm talking myself into all these Saints. First of all, let's bomb over 7.5 wins for the Saints. I like that a lot. They're a 9-win team last year. Plus 380 to South. I'll grab some of that. And you got to take 45 to 1 to win. If you think they can win a division, you got to take 45 to 1 to win the conference. Bomb it. With the second easiest schedule in the league. Like I gave out Drake London for Atlanta. How do you not like Olave at 100 to 1? I mean, is there really that much of a difference between Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins?
You like that? You like that?
Yeah, there probably is. But that's not the point. What is the point? Point is, they got a guy named Kool-Aid. I'm just saying, there's some value on those Saints. And there's also value on these Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's move on to them. Before we get, don't forget, we have the NFC South Preview, which I like this division. We already had Carolina. And we also have Liev Schreiber coming up. That's why I want to hurry up, because Liev Schreiber is doing episode 2 of Hard Knocks. Things are really cooking in Chicago. Speaking of Chicago and Carolina, they're always hooked up. Chicago, they wouldn't have had any of this Caleb Williams shit if Carolina didn't fuck all that up. Carolina, that trade. Can't even finish my sentences now. That's what I do now. I don't even. You know what I'm talking about, C-Generates. All right. Tampa Bay. Now their total's at 8.5. They're the division winner. They're not just division winner. They're the 4-time defending champions. Of course, they had Tom Brady before. And they have who's their coach? Todd Bowles is their head coach. He's 75 to 1 to win Coach of the Year. I don't see Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles has a bad narrative. People just don't think he's good. But he won the division. Baker Mayfield's another one. His MVP vote numbers have come down to 75 to 1. Before he was at 150 to 1. That's insane for a guy who had career numbers and yards. Now, sure, Dave Canales left to Carolina, so they think the whole offense is going to leave. But they still got Mike Evans, who, yes, is old, but he has 1,000 yards every year. It's what he does 8 times in a row. Chris Godson, he also had 1,000 yards last year. Chris Godson's a guy, when you draft him in fantasy football, that's when you're like getting drunk and you're just like, oh, you just give up. You're like, oh, God. All right. Give me Chris Godson. Pains you to do it. But you're like, I guess so. I guess he plays receiver. I love the value of these Saints and Bucks. That's all I know. Feach says he loves the Liam Cohen hire. Yeah, that's a good hire. Came over from Detroit, right? He's a new OC. Oh, no, Kentucky, not Detroit. Why would I say Detroit? University of Kentucky. He dabbled around because whatchamacallit's an OC. I was thinking of Detroit. But that Kentucky offense, of course, they had Will Levis, but and without him, they were not good. But they do have a crazy new system. So, and he went to UMass, if I recall. Rashad White, 100-1 to win offensive player of the year. I don't like that. They could not run the ball last year. But Mike Evans, 75-1. That's their defense was middle of the pack. They lost Carlton Davis and Devin White. They added Chris Boswell. I like that. They added Randy Gregory as well. But their both lines are good. That's what Tampa Bay has a low floor. 8.5 is a bit ambitious. I don't know. I would not rush to bet the over on that one. I wouldn't mind, but I don't mind them to win a division. NFC South plus 350. 35-1 to win NFC. 80-1 to win the Super Bowl. Not things I would love, but I would much rather take Tampa Bay or New Orleans than I would Atlanta. I think I've said that enough. So you're right. I'd like the Liam Cohen hire as well. I don't think Canales is just going to, I know he's the whisperer. He's just going to take all the offense with him, and they'll never, ever play. They'll never be good again. No, you know what I got to do? I got to set up my... whatchamacallit? I will set up that thing. You know who's interesting who I talked about this weekend up in Oregon is Bucky Irvin. That's who they drafted because Rashad White has no competition, you know. But Bucky Irvin, the running back from Oregon, will be the backup. Let me see here. He's 150-1 to win Rookie of the Year. He is not a bad bomb right there. 150-1 to win Rookie of the Year. That's what you're looking for. A backup running back that'll step right into an injury. And they don't even have to play. They don't have to play 17 games to win Rookie of the Year. Hell, Joe Flacco won Comeback Player of the Year. He played 4 games. You just have to make a narrative. That's all you got to do. Odell Beckham won, and when he played like 10 games. Of course, he set records, but anyway. So yeah, I would dabble with Tampa Bay. I like Bucky Irvin. I'll give out that bomb. How about Baker Mayfield was playing defensive end for Carolina? That's how fucking ridiculous Carolina. This whole division is a mess. I mean, I know they've gotten better, but come on. All right. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the NFC South. I like New Orleans to win the division. Tampa Bay second. Atlanta third, gambling-wise. Carolina, of course, fourth. And I gave out a lot of Carolina bombs as well. I like Xavier Legette for his country ass. Oh no, I'll play Xavier now. I couldn't play it when I had Ryan in there. I think that was the problem. Let me see if I can add him now. Why can't I fucking figure out how to do this? This is ridiculous. Do I have to remove something else? This is weird. Is this not a video? I'm a professional. You know what? I need to get to the box. Thank you, everybody who did join us for today's show. We have, of course, Liev Schreiber coming up to recap episode 2 of Hard Knocks. Can't wait. What an exciting weekend there in Chicago. Incredible. Caleb Williams, just so exciting against third string players against Cincinnati. Got the entire city up in arms. Like I said, drafted second round in my fantasy draft because the guy was from Chicago. Loved him. Very dumb. Make sure you follow me at Instagram at CJ Sullivan was taken _ in between all the words, or X at CJ Sullivan _ subscribe to my other podcast, The Blackout Diaries, the drinking storytelling show, comedy show. You'll love it. There was also I just got a text from Liev. He's running a little late, so I'll drag this out. No problem. He says it's a little loud. But it's fine. What was I saying? Should I tell him we can work around it? He said he's by a school by the house. We're doing. I forgot to say we're pushing the show a little later. Usually it's around 1 o'clock, but I'm pushing it. I started later on because Liev wanted to go live, and he had some other things to go. So we'll see how it works out. But he is ready to go. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Chicago and the fantasy draft, and those hilarious Hard Knocks. Oh, so I'm the commissioner of that. Of that draft, of that league. Been going on since 2000. I like to get gifts, sometimes I do that, like little knickknacks and cookies, whatever for everyone's first round pick, like a little hat or something, shirt with the player, something cheap. You can take a picture with, something fun. I didn't do that. So this year I went to go get, I went to some card shops around LA. And see, Generates, I haven't been to a card shop in years. Okay. Like a baseball card shop. Obviously, when I grew up, I did it. The business has changed a lot. You cut up a jersey, whatever. It's like there's $1,000 cases. There's Pokemon. There's Magic cards. I go in there like, can I help you? I'm like, yeah, I'm just looking for some cheap football cards, to give out in my fantasy draft. He's like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I could tell immediately he did not think that was cool at all. He walked away from me. It's fucking scumbag. Yeah, I don't want to spend $4,000 for a shred of a jersey of a third string quarterback on a Packer. For Sean Clifford's jersey. I don't want to do that. I just want to give out a gift for a fantasy draft, and also I don't want to. People are hanging out like Barker loungers. It's like a barber shop for autistic kids, or kids, I should say, adults, or probably shouldn't say autism. Anyway. Ronnie Pasco, welcome to the chat. Says, what's up, CJ? How is the Oregon coast? Fantastic. Mentioned it up top, Ronnie Pasco. Cannon Beach, where they shot Goonies. There's ocean and a rock. I'm like, I can see where you could live up here, I could also see where you'd go crazy up here, too. Like the guy who wrote Dune went crazy in Cannon Beach. Then he wrote Dune. Like, I can see that. It's very beautiful. It's very settling. And it's also destroy your brains. But it was beautiful up there. Listening to people talk about your beavers, Ronnie, and the ducks and the Pac-2 and all that shit. But anyway, yeah, so I got the football cards. Then I tried to shoot the shit. I felt embarrassed that he knew because I wasn't a collector, that I just wanted cheap football cards for my fantasy draft. So I'm like, so did they ever catch that guy? Did they catch the, the... He's like, oh, yeah, they caught him on the spot. I'm like, really? So what are you talking about? Oh, no, wasn't there a video of that guy who stole that briefcase at like $1.5 million worth of cards? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, no, I was talking about something else. Oh, what were you talking about? Never mind. Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool. What a crazy business you're in, man. Of someone stealing your Yasuo Puigs. You knows, man. You don't understand, man. I do understand. Your customer clientele is 12 years old. So stop telling me about your... Good for them. Good for them and the card shops and the knickknacks. The place is as big as a fucking Walmart out here. It's an amazing industry. Anyway, without further ado, right? Let's get out of the box. I'm staring. I'm stuck. Oh, that was another thing too. Then I started opening the cards. I'm like, well, maybe I should film this, right? Life is content. I've seen people do that live. They in the unboxing, if you will. They open up cards and they show it to the camera. I mean, I guess people watch it. I'm trying anything. I don't know. I'm old. What the fuck do people watch? So then I'm opening up cards and I'm like doing bits about players, which I'm sure is not what they do. They do it like for like trading and shit like that. But I'm like, who is this for? As I'm doing it. First of all, I'm gonna have to edit this. That if I give you any young comic advice, don't shoot anything because then you have to edit it, and that's what your life becomes, and it's nonstop content. So I'm opening up the cards. I have like 40 minutes of shit of me opening up cards. Life's not getting better. But it is now because we are going to get our guest from last week, Liev Schreiber, to talk about episode 2 of Hard Knocks. That was the box. Incredible. Let's see if I can pull him up here. Let me oh, hold on a second here. Where did my slides go? Here we go. And I gotta add up. There we go. Here we are. We got to add Liev Schreiber to the stage there. Liev, are you with us?
Hello, yes. I'm with you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, Liev. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming back to the box here on the Bottom Line Bombs. You were such a hit last week, recapping the first episode of Hard Knocks Chicago. And we're glad you could come back to get episode 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a real good recap.
Fantastic. Now there were some problems with the release of episode 2. It was a little late because usually it comes out Tuesday nights. We're filming this now on Monday. It came out last Tuesday, but it came out a couple hours late. What happened there?
How do I put it? Chicago beer fans prefer their drinks chilled, but when we released our last episode almost an hour late, Chicago Bear fans were anything but chill. The tweets came as swift as DeAndre and were as right as Darnell. And like the moves of an Australian Olympic breakdancer, some were hilarious. But bones are broken, not with words, but sticks and stones. And luckily for us, in a city known for its high crime rate, we didn't end up on the end of a ray gun. In the second episode, remember, because of the Australian breakdancer?
Right. Ray gun was that breakdancer. Yeah, and Chicago does have guns. You're right, Liev.
They have lots of guns. I've been watching on the news.
All right.
In the second episode of Hard Knocks, training camp with the Chicago Bears, we took a look at tackles, ice cream, and music. 3 different types of sweet licks.
That's true. It was a very musical episode. A lot of blues going on there. It seemed pretty cool.
The Chicago blues is a style of music popularized by guitarist B.B. King. And rookie quarterback Caleb Williams learned that unlike in the jungle, the king of the football field is the zebra. You have to be nice to an NFL referee or they won't call penalties in your favor. I sure hope they didn't visit Chicago staple Ed DeBevick's. Meanwhile, it was time for wide receiver Roma Dunze's rookie hazing. And he sang Kiss Kiss, a song by criminal Chris Brown, who would feel right at home on the crime-riddled streets of Chicago.
Oh,
perhaps undrafted rookie running back Ian Wheeler should put his skills to better use in the gunshot ward at Northwestern Memorial Hospital.
Oh, right. Man, you really like that, Ed DeBevick's. But I see why you said that because he went to medical school, right?
The doctor is in the huddle. Wheeler displayed his wheels, not on a Northwestern Memorial medical gurney, but on the practice field. And Theo Benedette, a.k.a. the Canadian Eagle, has landed in the DMs of numerous single women. It might not be love he's looking for, but tight end Cole Kmet and quarterback Austin Reed found themselves bonding on a Love Island. And while reality television show Love Island has bombshells, Caleb Williams was throwing bombs to his new wide receiver, Keenan Allen.
Very good there, Liev. You're right. You feeling good there? Some of you have done a little Chicago partying. The voice keeps cracking a little bit there, but I hope you can hold in there.
I haven't spoken a lot today, and I'm trying to drink a lot of water. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Hydrate yourself, Liev. There, it's training camp for everybody, even for the narrator. Now, he did make the top 100 list. Caleb, Keenan Allen did. Fantastic receiver, probably going to Hall of Fame. But Jalen Johnson did not make the top 100 list.
We highlighted that. Yes.
Right. That's why I brought it up.
Oh, cornerback Jalen Johnson was as salty as the rim of a Chicagoan 7th afternoon margarita at Las Fuentes. But at practice, Johnson faced off against Allen, causing Allen to feel like the torso of an average Chicagoan wearing an extra-large t-shirt, tightly covered. I scream, you scream. All of Chicago screams for ice cream. And when DJ Moore gets a sweet score into a swimming pool filled with candy sprinkles that were as large as a Chicago sausage.
That's good.
Did you know, CJ, the Museum of Ice Cream has 353 flavors?
No.
One for every murder in Chicago so far this year.
Gee, Liev,
it's a dangerous place.
A lot of that's just blown up in the news. They try to make these scare tactics. Chicago's a great place. It's not as bad as you're making it out to be.
I heard if you go downtown, you get shot and mugged in that order.
Well, you're easier to catch if they shoot you first. You don't want to mug them first, obviously. But
sure.
Yeah, I'm just saying you're being very rough on there. But it's all right, B. As long as you're safe out there, Liev, we appreciate you checking in here and giving us a recap. It was a fantastic episode. You are fantastic again, and I imagine you have a lot more to work with what we saw in the preseason this weekend with Caleb Williams.
Ooh, and Roma Dunze. He's catching that pass, that scramble pass.
Yes.
Did you see Caleb Williams did the behind the back pass in practice, and then Mahomes did it in the game.
That's true. Now, are you leaking footage to Mahomes or something? How did he know to copy that? I didn't mean to put you on the spot, Liev. You're right. I know there's non-disclosure agreements. You can't talk about that till it comes out on the air.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll protect you from all lawsuits. What a big week, though, of Hard Knocks. You got the Democratic Convention coming in this week. You have Caleb Williams fever. I can see. So rest up your voice, Liev. You're going to need it for the rest of this training camp.
Yeah, it feels better. It feels better now. I think
it is. It's much better. Liev Schreiber, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Have a good episode 3 of Hard Knocks.
Thank you.
Yes, there he was, Liev Schreiber. Everybody, unbelievable. Oh, hold on, let me fix this. There we are, man. That is definitely the box. Oh, man. Liev Schreiber comes back even better. Week 2. I didn't mean to call him out on his voice in the improv there. Ronnie Pasco says, keep waiting for the break character. Break character? Why would Liev Schreiber break character, Ron Pasco? You don't think that's actually him? That's him. Calling into the Bottom Line Bombs. He's a huge fan. Just kidding. It's actually great. The great Wade Randolph. Give him a follow on TikTok or Instagram. He's absolutely hilarious. I appreciate him calling. And I also appreciate Ryan O'Flanagan, who came into the box as well in the chat room. He says when Liev talks, he just sits here nodding. He is amazing. Those, I love that Hard Knocks. I watch it. It is the way they jam for us. Those Chicago references are incredible. Like I said, it's going to get better with the Democratic Convention and the Caleb Williams mania. Anyway, that's going to do it for our show. It's already going long. Thank you for everyone joining for Johnson in the chat. Ronnie Pasco, Lane Gretzky says, CJ, what's up, my guy? Ryan O'Flanagan, everyone. Feach Lamagna, everyone knows who they are. Everyone knows who they are. Why do I just keep saying words instead of just hitting the button? Right? All I have to do is hit a button and this will be over for me. I don't have to keep doing this. I can move on. I can move on to the college experience, which I'm doing after this with Picks Dundee. I'm doing a team preview of Troy. Hey, Troy, get over here. And then there's college football this weekend. So like I said, give us a follow, do all that, and we'll see you Oh, actually, I should tell you about this week, because this weekend we're going to Vegas for sign up weekend, contest weekend. So I will be doing a show, I think Thursday, from Vegas. I think that's how we're going to do it. Because Ryan and Sean are doing shows. I'm going to jump on the main side. I think I'm going to do the Bottom Line Bombs from Vegas. There's Radio Row, so I might pull out some guests there. There's so many guests now in the Bombs. I used to have no guests, but now I kind of like it because it's less work for me. Anyway, that's going to be it. All right, see you guys.